The Zorathians were a proud and ancient race, known across the galaxy for their intricate crystalline cities and profound technological advancements. They had thrived in the shadow of the Nebulan Rift for centuries, crafting marvels that dazzled even the most advanced civilizations. But progress often drew the attention of predators, and for the Zorathians, that predator was the Greylax Armada, a marauding force infamous for obliterating worlds and enslaving their populations. When the Greylax first entered Zorathian space, the attacks were surgical. Mining outposts along the outer rings vanished overnight, their distress signals lost in the ether. Zorathian diplomats pleaded for negotiations, offering resources and alliances. The Greylax response was clear and brutal: the glassing of Kratala Prime, the Zorathian agricultural hub. Billions perished in an instant, their crystalline cities turned to molten slag. Desperation turned to panic. The Zorathian Council, once a bastion of calm governance, descended into chaos. They knew their fleets, though formidable, were no match for the relentless tide of Greylax warships. The Zorathian navy had already suffered devastating losses in skirmishes along the outer colonies. They needed help, but the galaxy had turned a cold shoulder. It was then that the name of humanity surfaced, a species often regarded as newcomers to the galactic stage, brash and unpredictable but undeniably powerful. Tales of Earth's Dreadnought-class warships were whispered in council chambers. These ships, built for war but seldom used, were said to be capable of obliterating entire fleets. With no other options, the Zorathians sent a desperate plea to Earth, their message bearing a simple truth: help us, or we are doomed. The Zorathians could only wait, their eyes turned toward the distant stars. Days passed, then weeks. Just as hope began to dim, their sensors detected an anomaly, a massive object dropping out of hyperspace on the edges of their system. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. Sleek, angular, and bristling with weapons, it was a vessel forged not for beauty but for survival. It was Herald of Dawn, Earth's most advanced dreadnought. When the message from Zorathia reached Earth, the United Stellar Federation deliberated for days. Aiding the Zorathians meant risking open war with the Greylax Armada, a conflict that could spread across the galaxy. Humanity had fought hard to earn its place among the stars, and many feared that intervening might undo decades of hard-won peace. But humanity was not a species to ignore a cry for help. The stories of Earth's history, its struggles, its wars, and its resilience, were deeply embedded in their culture. To the Federation Council, this was not just a political decision, it was a moral imperative. Earth knew what it meant to stand against impossible odds. The call to arms was issued, and the Herald of Dawn, Earth's flagship dreadnought, was dispatched. The ship itself was a marvel of human ingenuity, designed as the ultimate deterrent against any galactic threat. Over 5 kilometers long, its reinforced hull bristled with ion cannons, plasma torpedoes, and railguns capable of splitting moons. Its AI core, known as Aegis, was more than just a tactical mind, it was a partner to its crew, a protector of life. Captain Elena Kale stood at the helm, a seasoned officer known for her unshakable resolve. Her orders were clear: protect the Zorathians at all costs and send a message to the Greylax Armada that Earth would not tolerate tyranny. As the Herald of Dawn slipped into hyperspace, the crew prepared for battle. Engineers double-checked weapon systems, pilots ran simulations in their starfighters, and the med bay was stocked for the inevitable casualties. Kale addressed her crew one final time before arrival. We do this not just for the Zorathians, but for every species who believes in freedom. Let them know humanity stands for hope. The Greylax Armada descended upon the Zorathian homeworld like a tidal wave. Thousands of Greylax warships surrounded the planet, bombarding its cities and shattering its defenses. The Zorathian fleet fought valiantly, but their numbers dwindled with each passing hour. Their once glorious navy now littered the space around their world, broken and burning. When the Herald of Dawn emerged from hyperspace, the battlefield fell silent for a moment. The dreadnought's massive form cast a shadow over the skirmishing fleets. Its arrival was heralded by the ignition of its primary engines, a flare so bright it briefly illuminated the darkened side of Zorathia. Captain Kale wasted no time. Aegis, begin combat protocols. Target their command vessels. Acknowledged, Captain, the AI replied in its calm, reassuring tone. Deploying first wave of plasma torpedoes. The Dreadnought unleashed a torrent of firepower. Plasma torpedoes streaked through space, finding their marks among the Greylax command ships. Explosions rippled through the enemy lines as the Herald of Dawn tore through their ranks. Earth's starfighters, sleek and agile, joined the fray, their pilots executing daring maneuvers to outflank the Greylax. The Zorathians watched in awe as the tide of battle shifted. Their crystal cities, once thought doomed, now had a fighting chance. The Herald of Dawn stood as a beacon of hope, its shields deflecting enemy fire as its weapons decimated the Greylax armada. But the Greylax were not so easily deterred. Their flagship, the Maelstrom, a behemoth rivaling the Dreadnought in size, charged forward. Its commander, a brutal tactician known as Zorathian, sneered at the sight of the human vessel. "Crush them," he growled. What followed was a clash of titans. The Herald of Dawn and the Maelstrom exchanged volleys, their shields flickering under the strain. Captain Kale remained calm, issuing orders with precision. "Aegis, focus fire on their main reactor. We end this now." With a final, devastating strike, the Herald of Dawn penetrated the Maelstrom's defenses. The Greylax flagship erupted in a blinding explosion, scattering debris across the battlefield. The remaining Greylax ships, leaderless and demoralized, retreated into the void. In the aftermath of the battle, Zorathia stood battered but unbroken. The crystalline cities bore scars from the conflict, but their people were alive, their culture preserved. The Zorathian Council extended their deepest gratitude to humanity, their crystalline visages reflecting both relief and admiration. "You came when no one else would," said Counselor Vryn, their voice resonating with emotion. "Your bravery has saved our world." Captain Kale nodded solemnly. "Humanity believes in standing together. If we allow tyranny to spread unchecked, none of us are truly free." The Herald of Dawn remained in Zorathian orbit for weeks, assisting with relief efforts and helping to rebuild. The bond between Earth and Zorathia grew stronger with each passing day. Humanity's willingness to risk everything for another species became a legend among the stars. For the Zorathians, the sight of Earth's Dreadnought became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there were those who would stand against oppression. As the Herald of Dawn departed, its engines lighting up the starry expanse, the Zorathians watched in silence, their hearts filled with gratitude. Across the galaxy, the story of Earth's intervention spread like wildfire. The Greylax Armada, once feared and unstoppable, now hesitated to engage their next target. The name Herald of Dawn became synonymous with defiance, and humanity solidified its place as a force for good in the galaxy. In the end, the battle for Zorathia was more than a victory, it was a testament to the enduring spirit of cooperation and the belief that hope could light even the darkest corners of the universe.